and they have an ace in Cole Hamels, who is a wanted man elsewhere.
The market is fantastic. Red Sox, Cubs, Blue Jays, Dodgers.
The Astros, a sleeper team for Cole Hamels.
How about the San Diego Padres? Phillies want to catch and return, maybe like the Red Sox, Blake Swihart.
He needs to trade Cole Hamels, and he needs to win the trade.
This guy is a hot commodity on the trade market right now.
Yeah, Tom, we talk about the Phillies an awful lot around here. I don't know if you noticed that. Tom McCarthy is with us. 13 years with the Phillies, right? You call games for the Mets. Yep. 13 years now with the Philadelphia Phillies. So you're entrenched. We're going to, get into your expertise here. What do you think the impact is of the Shields signing on Cole Hamels, who's high quality? I mean, obviously, this is an outstanding pitcher, top of the line. But what does this do to Cole Hamels and the ability to shop him or ship him?
Well, I still think that there's teams out there that are interested. I mean, even if the Padres aren't interested anymore, there are still a lot of other teams. And I say a lot, and this, in the grand scheme of things, 4 is probably a lot, or 3 is probably a lot. So I still think there potentially is a match if the Phillies decide to move him, as long as they get the prospects that will make this an impactful trade back. I don't think it matters that the Padres are, quote-unquote, out of the deal.
I think it matters a great deal, actually, because I think some of these other teams, Cubs, Red Sox, Dodgers, whoever, they're now comfortable going to spring training and seeing what it looks like. And I think now the question is, does somebody get caught in spring training, get an injury from one of these big teams and have to turn back to the Phillies? If not, the Phillies might get exactly what they need in June or July, because somebody's going to need Cole Hamels in June or July. But now you run the risk of Cole Hamels having to make 16, 18, 20 starts between now and then. And does he stay healthy? Does he stay the high-level pitcher? So I think their best chance to move him, because the Padres showed they were going to spend that money, wanted another starting pitcher, were thinking big picture, was San Diego.
Wait, you're thinking that, see, I'm kind of with you. I see it that, sorry, I know that shocks you. Yeah. I would just think that, that
I don't get the war pay if you ever.
Are you thinking that if the Red Sox made that move, then other teams would have to counter? So you're thinking that would have triggered more, or no, they'd gotten Shields, or?
I just think that if these teams were willing to move on someone like Hamels, we would have seen that move. The Padres were willing to move because of the strange circumstance around how Kemp is being paid. They had some extra money to go get another player. I think that most teams have kind of used their payroll and used the prospects they want to use, and they're saving everything else for the rainy day. If the rainy day comes in spring training, somebody's starter gets hurt, then I think they turn around and say, hey, we'll go for this. If not, I think the next market for Hamels is June, July.
Well, but I think from a Phillies standpoint, I think that's okay if they have to wait till June.
As long as he stays healthy.
As long as he stays healthy. But, it's a crapshoot in a lot of ways, right. I mean, with anybody. But
he's been healthy for you.
And he's been healthy. But I do think that if they have to wait, they have to wait. I mean, he is still young in frontline starter terms. So even if they don't trade him, I still think if they're going to be a contender in 2017, like Pat Gillick said, he'll still be a frontline starter.
Well, let's look at it this way. Let's eliminate the 4 or 5 months down the road. We could talk as far as we want. Let's say before spring training starts, you had to make a move. I think the most difficult part about this for Ruben Amaro is that the best move for Philadelphia might not be under his watch. It might be going getting 3, 4, 5 prospects. They're going to completely change that team, but it won't affect any of the things that are going to happen on his watch, as opposed to going out there and getting 2 really good prospects and 2 guys that they put in the lineup this year that pleases the fan base because they're different players.
BK, can I throw in one other thing that I think is a pressure point for the Phillies on this, and we just saw it with Shields. I think anybody would say that Cole Hamels is better than Shields, but the price on Hamels is a larger contract plus prospects.
Right.
And what begins to happen as we move here is how good the free agent class for starting pitchers is next offseason. Cueto, Zimmerman,
quite good.
That kind of stuff, where everyone says, hey, if I just hold on another X number of months, I don't have to pay Hamels' contract or give up my prospects. I'll just buy in the pool next year. So I think the time element begins to work against them, and I think the Phillies, Ruben Amaro, Pat Gillick, etc., have to say, in the search for the perfect, are we giving up the very good?